Jai Hind. Swami Vivekanand Chair, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University is celebrating International Youth Day to raise awareness about the challenges and opportunities faced by young people worldwide and to promote their active participation in society. It is a day dedicated to recognizing the potential and contributions of young people and highlighting the issues that affect their well being and development. I researched on the key objectives of celebrating International Youth Day and identified that the day serves as a platform to advocate youth related issues and policies at the local, national, and international levels. It brings attention to the unique needs, concerns, and aspirations of young people, ensuring that their voices are heard and their rights are protected. Such celebrations at international level also aim to empower young people by promoting their involvement in decision making processes and providing them opportunities for personal and professional growth. It emphasizes the importance of investing in youth development and ensuring access to quality education, skills training, employment, and entrepreneurship opportunities. The day commemorates the idea of global citizenship among young people, encouraging them to be actively engaged in addressing global challenges such as poverty, inequality, climate change, and social justice. It fosters a sense of responsibility, solidarity, and understanding of diverse cultures and perspectives. Rejoicing International Youth Day provides a platform for young people to connect, network, and collaborate with peers, organizations, and policymakers. It encourages the exchange of ideas, experiences, and best practices, facilitating youth led initiatives and fostering partnerships for sustainable development. The day acknowledges and celebrates the achievements, talents, and contributions of young people in various fields, including social activism, entrepreneurship, arts, sports, science, and innovation. It promotes positive role models and highlights the potential of young individuals as catalysts for positive change. By celebrating International Youth Day, we strive to create a world that values and invests in young people, enabling them to thrive, contribute meaningfully to society, and shape a sustainable and inclusive future. It serves as a reminder of the critical role that young people play in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and building a better world for all. This year, in 2023, UN celebrates the Green Schools for Youth towards a sustainable world. This refers to an approach that focuses on equipping young people with the necessary knowledge, competencies, and values to address environmental challenges and contribute to the transition towards a sustainable future. It recognizes the vital role of youth in shaping a more environmentally conscious and resilient society. To start with, I invite Dr. Shobha Raturi, retired Assistant Secretary, Board of Secondary Education, Uttar Pradesh Regional Office, Meerut, presently associated as Assistant Professor at Department of Languages in Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut. She is a glorious scholar and has presented research papers at the International World Hindi conferences held in Mauritius and Fiji, showcasing an active participation. She holds membership in numerous literary and cultural organizations across India, with a noteworthy accomplishment of co authoring around more than 12 poetry and story compilations. These works have found publication and recognition, gracing the pages of diverse Hindi literary magazines, dedicatedly contributing to the enrichment of literary and cultural domains. With a keen involvement in organizing and participating in various events. Demonstrated skills extend to critical review and editorial composition, as showcased through contributions to newspaper and magazines. I extend an invitation to her for a recital on Swami Vivekanand, Ek Prerna Punj, centered on the theme Swami Vivekanand, a reservoir of inspiration. I have a strong confidence that her poetry holds the potential to serve as a catalyst for the youth of India, revitalizing their engagement with Swami Vivekanand's principles and philosophies, and engaging them to integrate these values into their lives. Dr. Subharti.
जय हिंद दर्शकों, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय युवा दिवस के इस ओजस्वी अवसर पर उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आप महान संत स्वामी विवेकानंद के पद चिन्हों से प्रेरणा लेंगे। तो इसी अवसर पर मैं स्वामी विवेकानंद के जीवन से परिचित कराती हुई आपको उनकी एक कविता प्रस्तुत करती हूँ। कविता है प्रेरणा पुंज स्वामी विवेकानंद। प्रेरणा पुंज स्वामी विवेकानंद। नव जागरण के अग्रदूत, नव जागरण के अग्रदूत, सभ्यता संस्कृति के प्रतिमान, स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। नव जागरण के अग्रदूत, सभ्यता संस्कृति के प्रतिमान, स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। एक ज्योति पुंज, एक ज्योति पुरुष, एक ज्योति पुंज, एक ज्योति पुरुष, विश्व चेतना के वाहक निराले, नव युवाओं को पथ दिखलाते, नाम नरेंद्र के युवा मत वाले। नव जागरण के अग्रदूत, स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। विवेक वैराग्य और भक्ति का पाकर अपने गुरु से ज्ञान, विवेक वैराग्य और भक्ति का पाकर अपने गुरु से ज्ञान, मांगते रहे नित ईश्वर से विश्व चेतना और मानव कल्याण। संत विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। कहा स्वामी ने उठो जागो मत रुको, कहा स्वामी ने उठो जागो मत रुको, धारो हृदय में स्वप्न अपना, धारो हृदय में स्वप्न अपना, जब तक जियो तब तक सीखो, जब तक जियो तब तक सीखो, देखो खुले नयनों से मंजिल का सपना। ऊर्जा अक्षय है, यश अक्षुण है जीवन जिसका अंतहीन। ऊर्जा अक्षय है, यश अक्षय है जीवन जिसका अंतहीन। वही युवा है, वही शक्ति है वही विश्व का उज्जवल दिनमान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। स्वामी रामकृष्ण के शिष्य परम, स्वामी रामकृष्ण के शिष्य परम, शिकागो धर्म सम्मेलन के वक्ता, अंतर मन में धारण जिनकी, सनातन की पावन प्रखरता। मेरे भाइयों और बहनों कह, मेरे भाइयों और बहनों कह, अपनापन भरकर संबोधन में, विश्व की महाशक्ति को देखो, करा दिया भारत के वैभव का भान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। कहा स्वामी ने, सुनो दर्शकों, कहा स्वामी ने, है पराक्रम अपराजय जिनका, आस्था है अडिग अविरल, साहस अदम है शक्ति विपुल, वही युवा है, वही ओज का है भंडार। नया लक्ष्य लो उसे अपना लो, नया लक्ष्य लो उसे अपना लो, करो युवाओं मानव की सेवा, करो युवाओं मानव की सेवा। ये मातृभूमि ये विश्व भूमि अपनी, ये मातृभूमि ये विश्व भूमि अपनी, कर लो सबके जीवन में शुभ विहान, शुभ विहान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। सुनो श्रोताओं, सुनो श्रोताओं, कहा स्वामी ने, भारत का यूं परिचय दिया स्वामी ने। सुनो श्रोताओं, कहा स्वामी ने, भारत का परिचय यूं दिया स्वामी ने। धर्म हमारा सत्य सनातन, हम भरत के वंशज हैं। धर्म हमारा सत्य सनातन, हम भरत के वंशज हैं। दुनिया में हम सबसे आगे, जगत में लहराता अपना परचम है। सुनो श्रोताओं, कहा स्वामी ने, संस्कृति हमारी अजब अनूठी, कण कण में है देव बसे। संस्कृति हमारी अजब अनूठी, कण कण में है देव बसे। राकेश रवि रात दिवस के राजा, और नदियां हैं अपनी माँ समान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के वे भारत के संत महान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के हुए भारत के संत महान। सुनो श्रोताओं कहा स्वामी ने, सुनो दर्शकों कहा स्वामी ने, वेदों के मंत्रों में देखो अपार ज्ञान है विज्ञान का। वेदों के मंत्रों में देखो अपार ज्ञान है विज्ञान का। है असीम धर्म ध्वजा अपनी, है असीम धर्म ध्वजा अपनी। विश्व भारत के आगे नतमस्तक है, धर्म हमारा सत्य सनातन। हम भरत के वंशज हैं, दुनिया में हम सबसे आगे। जगत में लहराता अपना परचम है, सनातन धर्म और अध्यात्म में अभिव्यक्त कर ज्ञान की नई ज्योति भुवन भर में बढ़ा दिया स्वामी जी ने भारत का आत्मसम्मान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के हुए भारत के संत महान। स्वामी विवेकानंद नाम के हुए भारत के संत महान। प्रिय दर्शकों, आशा है कि इस कविता के माध्यम से आज स्वामी विवेकानंद के जीवन से परिचित हुए होंगे और आपने उनके जीवन से प्रेरणा प्राप्त करते हुए उनके पथ पर दिखाए हुए रास्ते पर चलते हुए लेने का संकल्प लिया होगा। अब मैं सादर आमंत्रित करती हूँ भाषा विभाग के विभागाध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर तुष्टि शर्मा को। प्रोफेसर तुष्टि शर्मा स्वामी विवेकानंद सुभारती विश्वविद्यालय में अंग्रेजी विभाग की प्रोफेसर हैं। भाषा विभाग की आप विभागाध्यक्ष हैं और स्वामी विवेकानंद शोध पीठ की अध्यक्षता करते हुए अपना सफलतापूर्वक अपना कार्य का निर्वहन कर रही हैं। आप शोध कार्य में आपकी गहन रुचि है और इसी कारण से देश की विभिन्न साहित्यिक और सांस्कृतिक संस्थाओं से आपको उत्कृष्ट आचार्य का पुरस्कार प्राप्त है। आप विश्वविद्यालय में एक टीम भावना से कार्य करने वाली सफल विभागाध्यक्ष हैं। समस्त आचार्य और छात्र में आप कार्य करती हैं और आपके इस कुशल नेतृत्व के कारण देश विदेश के विभिन्न संस्थाओं द्वारा आपको सफल आचार्य का पुरस्कार प्राप्त है। आप निरंतर विश्वविद्यालय के हित में कार्य करती हैं। आप एक सफल व्यक्तित्व की धनी एक हसमुख आचार्य हैं और अपने छात्रों और अपने सह आचार्यों के साथ मिलकर छात्र हित में और विश्वविद्यालय में निरंतर कार्य करती हैं। इसी कारण से इनको महत्वपूर्ण उत्तरदायित्व प्रदान किया जाता है। मैं मंच पर सादर आमंत्रित करती हूँ प्रोफेसर तुष्टि शर्मा को कि वह स्वामी विवेकानंद के जीवन से इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय युवा दिवस के अवसर पर आपको परिचित कराएं और आशा है कि आप उनके विचारों को ध्यानपूर्वक सुनें।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. In the present times, the gesture of expressing green greetings is indeed happening. However, it's essential to reflect upon whether we truly comprehend the profound message encapsulated within two exquisite words, green, that associates us to Mother Earth, and the other is the greetings, which means happiness always. You are right. In nick of time, we need to understand green skills for youth that encompasses a wide range of skills and areas of knowledge that are relevant to sustainability. These can include environmental literacy, renewable energy technologies, sustainable agriculture, waste management, conservation, and ecosystem management, sustainable urban development. To elaborate simply, it is the right moment to provide young people with a comprehensive understanding of environmental issues, including climate change, biodiversity loss, resource depletion, and pollution. This literacy enables them to make informed decisions and take proactive measures to mitigate and adapt to these challenges. Also, equipping youth with skills related to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower, which includes knowledge of installation, maintenance, and management of renewable energy systems, fosters their ability to contribute to a transition to cleaner and more sustainable energy resources. Moreover, educating young people on sustainable farming practices helps promote interest of youth towards soil health, water conservation, organic farming techniques, and biodiversity conservation. These skills enable them to contribute to food security, promote regenerative agricultural practices, and reduce the environmental impact of agriculture. Along with this, providing young people with skills in waste reduction, recycling, composting, and waste management practices would surely empower the youth today to address the growing waste management challenges and promote a circular economy where resources are used efficiently and waste is minimized. Green Schools for Youth not only focuses on technical knowledge but also emphasizes the development of values, attitudes, and behaviors that promote sustainability. It nurtures critical thinking, problem solving skills, innovation, and a sense of responsibility towards environment and future generations. By instilling an understanding of the importance of biodiversity conservation, ecosystem management, and restoration amongst the young people can encourage them to actively participate in conservation efforts, restore ecosystems, and contribute to the preservation of natural habits. Development of knowledge and skills related to sustainable urban planning, green infrastructure, sustainable transportation, and smart city technologies enables youth to contribute to the creation of livable, resilient, and sustainable cities. This is the strongest time after the pandemic and unprecedented times of lockdown. More than 500 days of war between Ukraine and Russia. Also, when nations like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka are under extreme economic crisis, we must empower young people with green skills and enable them to become active agents of change capable of driving sustainable development in their communities and beyond. This approach recognizes the interconnectedness between social, economic, and environmental aspects of sustainability, aiming to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world for present and future generations. On this day, 12th August 2023, I, Dr. Tushti Sharma, Professor and Convener, Swami Vivekanand Chair, would like to recall the message of Indian youth icon Swami Vivekanand in the reflection on visionary Indian youth icon and green skills for youth towards a sustainable world to celebrate UN International Youth Day 2023. Green skills for youth towards a sustainable world. Swamiji, as we know, the revered saint, is the visionary Indian youth icon. Being a person of ideologies, I determinately believe in his philosophy, and on International Youth Day, it is befitting to recall his timeless message. The iconic figure who continues to inspire and guide the youth across the globe. Vivekanand's teachings are not bound by time or borders. They are transcend generations and cultures, resonating with the aspirations and challenges faced by young people today. His message, rooted in spirituality, empowerment, and social transformation, remains as relevant as ever. To start with, self confidence and self belief, Swami Vivekanand emphasized the inherent potential and divinity within each individual. He encouraged young people to believe in themselves, to recognize their inner strength, and to have confidence in their abilities. On this International Youth Day, we must remember Vivekanand's words: arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached. He believed that the youth has the power to shape their destiny and make a positive impact on society. Boisterously, Swamiji considered education to be the key to individual and societal progress. He emphasized the importance of acquiring knowledge not merely for academic pursuits, but also for character building and moral development. Today, as we celebrate International Youth Day, we should remember Vivekanand's call for a holistic education that nurtures not only intellectual growth but also ethically values compassion and social responsibility. To him, social service and empathy was his doctrine. Vivekanand stressed the significance of selfless service to humanity. He believed that true happiness and fulfillment could be found in working for the welfare of others. On this day, let us draw inspiration from his words. The best way to find yourself is to lose in yourself in the service of others. Young people have the energy, enthusiasm, and idealism to create positive change and address the pressing challenges of our time. Whether it is social inequality, environmental degradation, or mental health issues. He always spoke passionately about the need for unity and harmony among diverse communities and cultures. He envisioned a world where different religions, nationalities, and ideologies would coexist peacefully. On International Youth Day, let us remember his call for tolerance, understanding, and respect for all. It is the responsibility of young people to foster inclusivity, bridge divides, and promote dialogue in an increasingly interconnected world. Spirituality and inner growth led my words when I bring up Vivekanand's teachings that emphasize the importance of spiritual growth and self realization. He believed that a deep understanding of oneself and one's relationship with the universe was crucial for personal and societal transformation. On this day, as we celebrate the potential of young people, let us also encourage them to explore their inner selves, cultivate mindfulness, and seek meaning and purpose in their lives. Swami Vivekanand's message continues to resonate with the youth, inspiring them to be proactive, compassionate, and responsible global citizens. On International Youth Day, let us remember his teachings and strive to uphold his ideals. May the spirit of Vivekanand guide and empower young people around the world as they strive to create a brighter, more inclusive, and a sustainable future for all. India has been blessed with visionary youth icons that have left an indelible mark on society, and Swami Vivekananda stands tall among them. His teachings and philosophies continue to inspire generations. And when combined with the concept of green skills for youth, they provide a powerful framework for building a sustainable world. Swami Vivekanand's visionary outlook on youth empowerment and the principles of sustainability converge in the concept of green skills for youth. This approach recognizes the immense potential of young people in driving positive change and focuses on equipping them with necessary knowledge, skills, and values to create a sustainable future. His teaching emphasized the unity of all beings and the interdependence between humanity and the environment. Similarly, Green Skills for Youth emphasize the need to foster a holistic understanding of our connection with nature. By imparting environmental literacy and practical skills such as renewable energy technologies, sustainable agriculture, and waste management, we empower the youth to become responsible custodians of the environment. Moreover, Swami Vivekananda advocated for the holistic development of individuals, which aligns with the comprehensive approach of Green Skills for Youth. Beyond technical skills, this concept nurtures emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and ethical decision making among young people. By focusing on character development and values, it ensures that youth not only possess technical expertise but also have the wisdom and compassion to make sustainable choices. His emphasis on selfless service and working for the betterment of society resonates strongly with the ethos of Green Skills for Youth. This concept encourages young people to utilize their acquired skills and knowledge to address pressing environmental challenges and contribute to sustainable development. By promoting a sense of purpose and responsibility, it cultivates a generation of change agents who work towards creating a more sustainable and inclusive world. The visionary outlook of India youth icons like Swami Vivekanand is crucial in inspiring and motivating young people to take up the cause of sustainability. Their teachings provide by combining the visionary philosophy of Swamiji with the concept of green skills for youth, we can create a powerful synergy that can transform the world. This collaboration equips young people with the knowledge, skills, and values needed to address the complex challenges of sustainability. It fosters a generation that is not only environmentally conscious but also empowered to create innovative solutions, promote social justice, and strive towards a more sustainable world. As we celebrate the visionary Indian youth icons and the concept of green skills for youth, let us draw inspiration from their teachings and work towards building a sustainable world where the youth of India can become the leaders and change agents who will shape a better tomorrow. In today's rapidly changing world, sustainability has emerged as a paramount concern. This need to protect our environment, conserve resources, and mitigate the impact of human activities on the planet has become increasingly urgent. As we navigate this complex landscape, it is essential to draw inspiration from the timeless wisdom of great thinkers and philosophers who envisioned a harmonious coexistence between humanity and nature. Among them, Swami Vivekanand, the revered Indian monk and philosopher, offers profound insights that can be applied to the concept of green skills for youth, fostering a path towards a sustainable world. Swami Vivekanand, born in 1863, was a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa and played a pivotal role in introducing Hindi philosophy and spirituality to the West. His teachings emphasize the unity of all beings and the interdependence between humanity and the environment. Vivekananda's philosophy encourages individuals to cultivate a holistic perspective and take responsibility for their actions, recognizing that each choice we make has a profound impact on the world around us. Green skills for youth, a concept gaining prominence in the world today, focuses on equipping young people with the knowledge, competencies, and values necessary to build a sustainable future. It encompasses a wide range of skills, including environmental literacy, renewable energy technologies, sustainable agriculture, waste management, and conservation practices. By integrating Vivekananda's philosophy into the framework of green skills for youth, we can establish a solid foundation for sustainable world. At the core of Vivekananda's teachings lies the belief in the interconnectedness of all life forms. He urged individuals to recognize the divinity inherent in nature and develop a deep sense of respect and reverence towards it. This profound understanding aligns perfectly with the ethos of Green Skills for Youth. By instilling a sense of connection and reverence for the environment in young minds, we can foster a generation that will approach sustainability challenges with empathy and responsibility. Vivekananda emphasized the importance of education as a means of personal and societal transformation. He believed that education should not be limited to academic knowledge but should also focus on character building and the cultivation of values. In the context of green skills for youth, this philosophy implies the need to go beyond theoretical knowledge and provide young people with practical skills and experiences that enable them to make sustainable choices in their everyday lives. Moreover, Vivekananda advocated for selflessness and service to humanity. He believed that true fulfillment comes not from self centered pursuits, but from actively working towards the welfare of others. Applying this principle to the concept of green skills for youth, we can encourage young people to use their acquired skills and knowledge to serve the greater good by addressing environmental challenges. By fostering a sense of purpose and empowering youth to become change agents, we create a powerful force for sustainable development. Incorporating Vivekananda's philosophy into green skills for youth also calls for a holistic approach that considers the interconnectedness of the physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions of human existence. Vivekananda believed in the unity of body, mind, and spirit, and it stressed the importance of balance and harmony in all aspects of life. To build a sustainable world, we must educate and empower young people, not only in technical skills but also in emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and ethical decision making. This comprehensive approach will equip them with the tools needed to navigate the complexities of sustainable development and make conscious choices that promote harmony with nature. Swami Vivekananda's timeless teachings provide a profound framework for integrating the principles of sustainability into the concept of green skills for youth. By embracing his philosophy, we can inspire and empower young people to become catalysts for change, steering us towards a sustainable world as we strive to protect our planet and secure a future for generations to come. Let us draw wisdom from the past and sow the seeds of a greener and more harmonious tomorrow. While writing the script for the talk today, and to connect teachings of Swami Vivekanand ji with International Youth Day, I tried to trace the relevance of green skills for youth towards a sustainable world in the light of the teachings of Swami Vivekanand. Believe me, I was captivated by the teachings of Swami Vivekanand, which hold a great relevance in the context of green skills for youth and the pursuit for a sustainable world. By exploring the intersections between the philosophy and the objectives of green skills, we can uncover valuable insights, practical applications that can guide us towards a more harmonious and sustainable future. To collect a few are unity and interconnectedness. Swami Vivekananda emphasized the interconnectedness of all beings and the oneness of humanity with nature. This understanding resonates strongly with the principles of sustainability, which acknowledge the intricate web of relationships between human actions, ecosystems, and the planet as a whole. Green Skills for Youth can draw upon his philosophy to foster a sense of responsibility and interconnectedness in young minds, helping them recognize their roles as stewards of the environment. Reverence for nature. Vivekananda advocated for the recognition of the divine in nature and the importance of treating the environment with reverence. By instilling a deep respect and appreciation for the natural world, Green Skills for Youth can encourage young people to adopt sustainable practices and make conscious choices that minimize harm to the environment. This reverence also instills a sense of awe and wonder, motivating individuals to explore innovative solutions and technologies that work in harmony with nature. Holistic education. Vivekanand emphasized the need for education that goes beyond academic knowledge and includes character building and the cultivation of values. In the context of Green Skills for Youth, this philosophy underscores the importance of providing young people with a holistic education that encompasses not only technical skills but also ethical decision making, emotional intelligence, and mindfulness. Such an approach equips youth with the wisdom and compassion needed to address sustainability challenges effectively. Service to humanity. Swami Vivekananda believed in selfless service and working for the betterment of society. This principle finds resonance in the concept of green skills for youth, as it encourages young people to utilize their acquired skills and knowledge to serve the greater good. By nurturing a sense of purpose and a commitment to social and environmental well being, green skills empower youth to become agents of change, driving sustainable development and contributing to the welfare of present and future generations. Balance and harmony. Vivekanand ji emphasized the need for balance and harmony in all aspects of life, including the physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions, in the pursuit of a natural environment. Green skills for youth informed by this philosophy can promote a holistic approach to sustainability, ensuring that ecological concerns are addressed alongside personal well being and spiritual growth. Incorporating the teachings of Swami Vivekananda into the framework of green skills for youth enriches and strengthens the pursuit of a sustainable world. By embracing concepts such as unity, reverence for nature, holistic education, service, and balance, we equip young people with the mindset and skills necessary to address environmental challenges and contribute to a more sustainable and harmonious future. Swami Vivekananda's wisdom provides a guiding light, inspiring us to integrate spirituality, ethics, and compassion into our collective efforts towards sustainability. Of course, I have been halfway to the talk today, and it can arouse your intellect. Where are we realizing the vision of Swami Vivekananda for Indian youth? I'm trying to draw your attention on the same point. Swamiji, a visionary spiritual leader and philosopher, had a profound vision for the youth of India. He firmly believed that the youth possessed immense potential to bring about positive social change in society. In line with his teachings and principles, the concept of green skills for youth emerges as a practical pathway to realize Swami Vivekananda's vision for Indian youth, while also addressing the pressing need for a sustainable world. Swami Vivekanand ji emphasized the importance of education in empowering individuals. He envisioned education as a means to awaken the latent potential within the youth, enabling them to make significant contributions to society. Green Skills for Youth aligns perfectly with this vision by equipping young people with the knowledge and skills needed to address environmental challenges. By imparting green skills such as renewable energy technologies, sustainable agriculture, and waste management, we enable Indian youth to actively participate in building a sustainable future. He advocated for selfless service and importance of working for the betterment of society. Green Skills for Youth embraces this principle by encouraging young people to use their acquired skills and knowledge for the benefit of the environment and society at large. By instilling a sense of social responsibility, the youth can contribute to sustainable development initiatives such as conservation projects, community based renewable energy initiatives, and environmental awareness campaigns, thereby aligning with the Vivekanand's vision of selfless service. Vivekanand emphasized the unity of all beings and the importance of national integration. He believed that the progress of India could only be achieved through a unified and inclusive approach. Green Skills for Youth provides a platform for Indian youth from diverse backgrounds to come together and work towards a common goal of sustainability. By fostering collaboration and cross cultural understanding, this concept promotes unity and national integration, fulfilling Vivekanand's vision of a united and prosperous India. Recognizing the interdependence between humanity and nature, he emphasized the need for humans to live in harmony with the natural world, treating it with reverence and respect. Green Skills for Youth embodies this philosophy by promoting sustainable practices that minimize harm to the environment. Through green skills, training, and environmental education, Indian youth can develop an understanding of ecological balance and learn to coexist with the nature, thus fulfilling Vivekanand's vision of a harmonious relationship between humans and their surroundings. Vivekanand ji emphasized the importance of character development and the cultivation of moral values. Green Skills for Youth not only focuses on technical skills but also integrates ethical decision making, mindfulness, and empathy into the educational framework. By nurturing values such as environmental stewardship, responsibility, and compassion, this concept aligns with Vivekanand's vision of holistic development and the importance of character in shaping the youth, thereby embracing the concept of green skills for youth. We can effectively bridge the teachings and vision of Swami Vivekanand with the urgent need for a sustainable world. This approach empowers Indian youth with the necessary skills, knowledge, values, and sense of social responsibility to contribute to sustainable development. As the youth of India actively participate in initiatives promoting green skills and sustainability, they not only realize Swami Vivekanand's vision but also pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future for India and the world at large. Dear listeners, once again, I would connect you with green skills that are environmentally friendly and focused on promoting sustainability and conservation. When embracing philosophy of Swami Vivekanand, these skills can align with the teachings of harmony and with nature and the interconnectedness of all living beings. Let me quickly take you across some instances of green skills for youth towards a sustainable world inspired by Swami Vivekanand's philosophy. Organic farming, learning sustainable agriculture practices that minimize the use of synthetic inputs, promote biodiversity, and protect the environment. Renewal, renewable energy, gaining knowledge and skills in solar, wind, and hydropower technologies to promote clean and sustainable energy sources. Waste management, educating and engaging in waste reduction, recycling, and upcycling practices to reduce environmental pollution. Sustainable architecture, understanding eco friendly building techniques and designing structures those are energy efficient and harmonious with the surrounding environment. Conservation and wildlife protection, developing skills in wildlife monitoring, habitat restoration, and conservation initiatives to protect endangered species and biodiversity. Water management, learning about sustainable water usage, rainwater harvesting, and wastewater treatment to preserve this precious natural resource. Sustainable tourism, promoting responsible tourism practices that minimize negative impacts on local ecosystems and cultures. Green entrepreneurship, encouraging the development of environment friendly businesses that provide sustainable products and services. Climate change advocacy, empowering youth to become climate change advocates and change in efforts to raise awareness and promote climate action. Environmental education, enhancing knowledge and skills in environmental education to inspire others to adopt sustainable practices and attitudes. Eco friendly craft and art, exploring creative ways to make sustainable art and crafts using recycled materials and natural resources. Permaculture, understanding the principles of permaculture and implementing regenerative agricultural practices to create self sustaining ecosystems. Forest conservation, participating in tree planting initiatives and forest conservation efforts to combat deforestation and protect natural habitats. Green technology and innovation, fostering skills in green technology and innovation to develop sustainable solutions for various environmental challenges. Green advocacy and community engagement, engaging youth to actively participate in environment movements and community based initiatives for a sustainable world. Dear listeners, by embracing these green skills inspired by the teachings of Swami Vivekanand, the youth can contribute to a more sustainable and harmonious world, respecting and protecting the interconnectedness of all living beings and nature. And achieving a harmonious world that protects the interconnectedness of all living beings and nature requires collective effort and a holistic approach. Let us ponder over some principles, key principles, and actions that can contribute towards this goal. Let's talk about environmental education and awareness. Educate people about the importance of nature and its interconnectedness with all living beings. Create awareness about the impact of human actions on the environment and promote a sense of responsibility and stewardship. Sustainable development, embrace sustainable practices in all aspects of life, including agriculture, industry, infrastructure, and urban planning. Balance economic development with the environmental conservation and social well being. Conservation and biodiversity protection, protect natural habitats, wildlife, and biodiversity through the establishment of protected areas and conservation initiatives. Support sustainable management of resources to ensure their availability for future generations. Climate action, address climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, promoting renewable energy, and adapting to the impacts of climate change. Encourage international cooperation to tackle this global challenge. Responsible consumption promotes responsible and mindful consumption patterns that minimize waste and reduce the environmental footprint. Encourage the use of eco friendly products and services. Ethical and compassionate living, emphasize compassion and empathy for all living beings. Encourage ethical treatment of animals and promote plant based diets to reduce the environmental impact of food production. Green cities and infrastructure. Develop eco friendly cities and infrastructure that prioritize green spaces, public transportation, and energy efficient buildings. Water resource management, ensure responsible management of water resources to meet the needs of both people and the environment. Implement water conservation and water quality protection measures. Indigenous and local knowledge. Respect and integrate the wisdom and knowledge of indigenous and local communities as they often have valuable insights into sustainable practices and living in harmony with nature. Environmental policy and governance. Advocate for strong environmental policies and regulations at local, national, and international levels. Support leaders who prioritize environmental protection and sustainable development. Collaboration and partnerships. Foster collaboration among governments, and organizations, businesses, communities, and the individuals to address environmental challenges collectively. Green innovation and technology, promote research and innovation in green technologies and solutions that can mitigate environmental impacts and contribute to a sustainable future. Environmental justice, address environmental injustices and ensure that all communities, regardless of their socio-economic status or background, have equal access to a clean and healthy environment. Mindfulness and spirituality encourage practices that promote mindfulness, inner peace, spiritual connection with nature, as this can foster a deeper appreciation for interconnectedness of all life. By integrating these principles and taking concerted action, we can move towards a harmonious world that respects and protects the interconnectedness of all living beings with nature. It requires a shift in mindset, individual responsibility, and collective action to create a sustainable and thriving planet for present and future generations. This we can achieve by learning through examples of individual responsibility and collective action to create a sustainable and thriving planet for present and future generations. Out of gratitude for Mother Nature, I personally assume and encourage others to embrace the responsibility of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Practice waste reduction by minimizing single use items, reusing products whenever possible, and recycling materials to keep them out of landfills. Energy conservation. Conserve energy at home by turning off lights and appliances when not in use, using energy efficient appliances, and utilizing natural light whenever possible. Water conservation. Be mindful of water usage by fixing leaks, using water saving fixtures, and avoiding waste practices like leaving the tap running while brushing teeth. Sustainable transportation. Opt for eco-friendly transportation options such as walking, cycling, carpooling, or using public transportation whenever feasible. Conscious consumption. Make informed choices by supporting environmentally responsible products, choosing sustainable brands, and avoiding items with excessive packaging. Plant-based diet. Consider adopting a more plant-based diet to reduce the environmental impact of food production and support sustainable agriculture practices. Eco-friendly habits. Adopt green habits like using cloth bags instead of plastic, composting organic waste, and avoiding products with harmful chemicals. Environmental advocacy. Raise awareness about the environmental issues and advocate for sustaining practices among friends, family, and social networks. Volunteering. Engage in local environmental initiatives such as beach cleanups, tree planting, and wildlife conservation programs. The important one, responsible tourism. When traveling, support eco friendly accommodations and tour operators that prioritize sustainability and respect local cultures and ecosystems. I had like to offer a suggestion as well, advocating for collective action within the team to safeguard our Mother Earth. Community based initiatives. Community based initiatives involve engaging with local environment groups and supporting projects aimed at promoting sustainability within your community. These initiatives are crucial because they empower individuals to make a direct impact on environmental issues close to home. Joining local environment groups connects you with like minded individuals who share your passion for environment conservation. These groups often organize events, workshops, and campaigns focused on various aspects of sustainability, such as waste reduction, renewable energy adoption, tree planting, and more. Collaborating with these groups amplifies your efforts and allows you to pool resources and knowledge. Many community based initiatives involve hands on projects that contribute to environmental well being. These projects could range from cleanup drives in local parks and beaches to create urban gardens, setting up recycling programs, or advocating for renewable energy installations within the community. Supporting these projects financially through volunteering or by spreading awareness can significantly enhance their success. Local environment groups often play a role in educating the community about environmental challenges and solutions. They may organize workshops, seminars, or awareness campaigns that shed light on issues like climate change, pollution, and resource depletion. By participating in or supporting these initiatives, you contribute to a better informed community that is more likely to adopt sustainable practices. Engaging in community based initiatives has a ripple effect. When you actively participate in or support local projects, you inspire others to do the same. Community based initiatives can be tailored to address specific environmental challenges unique to your area. For example, a coastal community might focus on initiatives related to ocean conservation and plastic waste reduction, while a rural area might prioritize reforestation and sustainable agriculture. By getting involved, you ensure that solutions are aligned with the local ecosystems and needs. Participating in community based initiatives fosters a sense of belonging and connection among residents. Working towards a common goal strengthens social bonds and promotes a sense of responsibility for the environment and well being of the community as a whole. A very important aspect is corporate social responsibility. The CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a concept that highlights the responsibility of businesses and corporations to contribute positively to the society and the environment. Encouraging businesses to adopt environmentally responsible practices and supporting companies with strong sustainability policies is an essential aspect of promoting a more sustainable and environmentally conscious business landscape. Encouraging businesses to adopt environmentally responsible practices involves advocating for strategies that minimize the negative impact of business operations on the environment. This can encompass a wide range of initiatives, including reducing energy consumption, minimizing waste generation, implementing efficient water usage, and adopting eco friendly packaging and production methods. A significant focus of CSR is to encourage companies to reduce their carbon footprint. This involves strategies such as transitioning to renewable resources, optimizing transportation and logistics to reduce emissions, and ethically and eco-friendly maintaining standards to ensure that entire production process aligns with environmental conservation goals. By supporting businesses with strong sustainability policies, consumers can help create a demand for environmentally friendly products and services. When consumers choose to purchase from companies that prioritize sustainability, it sends a message to other businesses that eco friendly practices are not only socially responsible but also economically viable. Encouraging businesses to adopt sustainable practices often involves collaborating with industry associations, non government organizations, and other stakeholders. By working together, these groups can establish best practices, share resources, and collectively push for more widespread adoption of environmentally responsible strategies. Businesses that embrace CSR often practice transparency by publicly reporting their environmental efforts and progress. This transparency holds them accountable for their actions and enables stakeholders, including customers and investors, to make informed decisions based on the company's environmental performance. Adopting environmentally responsible practices can enhance a company's long term viability. By reducing waste, conserving resources, and minimizing environmental risks, businesses can operate more efficiently and ensure their operations remain sustainable in the face of changing environmental regulations and consumer preferences. Embracing sustainability can drive businesses to innovate and develop new technologies products, and services that have a positive impact on the environment. Companies that prioritize CSR and environmental responsibility often build a positive reputation among consumers, investors, and communities. This reputational capital can lead to increased brand loyalty, customer trust, and enhanced relationship with stakeholders. Now let's come to green policies and advocacy. Green policies and advocacy involves actively promoting and supporting environmentally friendly policies and initiatives at various levels of governance. This proactive approach is crucial for influencing positive changes that address pressing environmental issues. At the local level, advocating for green policies can involve engaging with city councils, community organizations, and local businesses. Participate in town hall meetings, community forums, and environmental groups to voice your concerns and propose solutions. Advocate for policies such as improved waste management system, creation of green spaces, and adoption of renewable energy sources within your community. On the national scale, advocating for strong environmental policies involves raising awareness about pressing issues and urging lawmakers to take action. This can be done by writing letters, emails, or making phone calls to your elected representatives to express your support for or concerns about specific legislation related to environmental protection. Participate in marches, rallies, and protests to show your dedication to the cause and demonstrate the public's demand for change. Environmental issues often transcend borders, making international advocacy important. Collaborate with global environmental organizations. Participate in international conferences and leverage social media to amplify your voice and connect with advocates from around the world. Advocate for policies related to climate change mitigation, biodiversity conservation, and sustainable development on a global scale. Engage in lobbying efforts to influence policymakers directly. This could involve meeting with legislators, attending committee hearings, and providing data-driven arguments that support the implementation of environmentally friendly policies. During elections, support candidates who prioritize environmental concerns and advocate for green policies. Research candidates' stances on environmental issues, attend their campaign events, and promote those who align with your values by electing officials who prioritize sustainability. You can contribute to the implementation of impactful policies. Always advocate for green policies by raising public awareness about the importance of environment conservation. Organize workshops, seminars, and informal sessions to educate your society about the benefits of sustainable practices and the potential consequences of inaction. Join or create coalitions and alliances with other like-minded individuals, organizations, and groups to amplify your advocacy efforts. A united front can bring more attention to the cause and demonstrate a larger base of support to policymakers. Back your advocacy with data and research to present compelling arguments. Gather information about the environmental impacts of specific policies, potential economic benefits, and success stories from other regions where similar policies have been implemented. Utilize social media platforms, blogs, and other online resources to engage the public in conversations about green policies. Encourage discussions, share more informative content, and mobilize people to take action. Effective advocacy often requires a long term strategy. Understand that change might take time, and persistence is a key. Continuously engage with lawmakers, track policy developments, and adapt your advocacy efforts if needed. Moreover, let's also talk about the sustainable development projects. Supporting and investing in such projects is a crucial step towards building a more environmental friendly and socially equitable future. These projects encompass a wide range of initiatives that prioritize economic growth while minimizing negative impact on the environment. Investing in renewable energy products is one of the most impactful ways to reduce carbon emissions and transition away from fossil fuels. This can involve supporting solar, wind, hydroelectrical, geothermal, and other clean energy resources. Supporting projects that focus on energy efficiency helps reduce overall energy consumption. This can involve retrofitting buildings with energy efficient technologies, implementing smart grid systems, and promoting energy saving practices in industries and households. Investing in green infrastructure projects such as sustainable transportation systems, urban green spaces, and green building initiatives improves the overall quality of life, minimizing environmental impact. Green infrastructure enhances urban resilience, reduces air and water pollution, and creates spaces that supports physical and mental well-being. Sustainable development projects in waste management and recycling help divert waste from landfills, reduce pollution, and conserve resources. Supporting initiatives that promote waste reduction, recycling, and composting contributes to a circular economy where materials are reused and repurposed. Projects that focus on sustainable agriculture promote practices that protect soil health, conserve water, reduce chemical usage, and promote biodiversity. Investing in agroecological methods and supporting local farmers who practice sustainable agriculture contributes to food security and environmental preservation. Projects aimed at water conservation and restoration focus on efficient water use, protecting water sources, and restoring ecosystems such as wetlands and watersheds. Investing in research and development of eco friendly technologies can lead to breakthroughs in areas such as renewable energy, carbon capture and storage, sustainable materials, and waste reduction. Supporting innovation in these fields drives technology and technological advancements and can revolutionize sustainable practices. Sustainable development projects related to affordable housing and urban planning focus on creating livable, energy efficient cities that prioritize public transportation, green spaces, and reduced urban sprawl. These initiatives address both environmental and social challenges associated with rapid urbanization. Impact investing involves allocating capitals to projects and companies that generate positive social and environmental impacts alongside financial returns. By choosing investments aligned with sustainability goals, individuals and institutions can drive positive change while also achieving financial growth. Sustainable development projects often focus on long-term impact. The benefits of these projects extends beyond immediate returns, contributing to the well-being of the planet and future generations. The most important and the vital element in the society required is environmental education. Promoting environmental education is a powerful tool for raising awareness, fostering a sense of responsibility, and inspiring positive action. Towards a more sustainable future, environmental education encompasses formal and informal learning experiences that impart knowledge, skills, and values related to the environment and its conservation. Integrating environmental education into school curricula exposes students to ecological concepts, conservation principles, and sustainable practices. This can include lessons on biodiversity, climate change, and waste reduction, water conservation, and more. By incorporating environmental education into various subjects, students develop a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of environmental issues. Environmental education often involves experiential learning, such as field trips to natural habitats, nature centers, and conservation areas. These experiences allow students to engage directly with nature, fostering a connection to the environment and a sense of stewardship. Environmental education encourages critical thinking by addressing complex issues such as environmental degradation, resource depletion, and climate change. Students learn to analyze information, evaluate evidence, and form their own opinions on these topics, equipping them with skills essential for informed decision making. Environmental education also helps students understand the global nature of environment challenges and role of individuals and community which is played in addressing them. It also inspires a behavior change. By understanding the consequences of personal choices and actions, individuals are more likely to adopt sustainable habits as reducing energy consumption, minimizing waste, and making eco friendly consumer choices. Beyond schools, environmental education extends to communities through workshops, seminars, and outreach events. Mind it, these initiatives empower both adults and community members with the knowledge needed to make informed decisions about their local environment and advocate for positive changes. This environment education contributes to create a workforce skilled in environment practices as industries increasingly embrace eco-friendly technologies and practices. Well-informed individuals, particularly youth, are more likely to engage in policy advocacy. Environmental education doesn't exist in isolation. It often integrates science, social studies, ethics, and other disciplines. This holistic approach helps students appreciate the multifaceted nature of environmental issues and their connections to broader societal values. It is not limited to formal schooling. It encourages lifelong learning and curiosity about the world, the nature, prompting individuals of all ages to seek out information, engage in discussions, and make sustainable choices. I emphasize environmental education promotes inclusivity by recognizing that diverse communities have unique relationships with the environment. It encourages understanding and appreciation of different perspectives, cultural practices, and by interacting with nature. When we talk about this International Youth Day, it means a collaboration or agreements at the international level. Supporting and advocating for international agreements and treaties is essential for addressing pressing global environmental challenges that require a collective action. These agreements bring together countries and stakeholders to cooperate on solutions that transcend borders. Let me help you explore to this topic. International agreements like the Paris Agreement aim to unite countries in the fight against climate change. These agreements set targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, promoting renewable energy, and adapting to the impacts of a changing climate. By supporting and urging adherence to such agreements, individuals and communities contribute to mitigating the worst effects of global warming. Agreements like the Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD) focus on preserving biodiversity and ecosystem services. They emphasize the importance of conserving ecosystems, protecting endangered species, and promoting sustainable use of natural resources. Advocating for and upholding these treaties helps safeguard the planet's rich biodiversity. The Montreal Protocol is an example of an international agreement that successfully addressed the depletion of ozone layer by phasing out the production and consumption of ozone depleting substances. Supporting and enforcing such agreements demonstrates the effectiveness of global cooperation in solving environmental challenges. While not treaties themselves, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) encompass a wide range of environmental, social, and economic objectives. By endorsing and working towards these goals, nations commit to actions that promote sustainability, poverty reduction, and global well being. Citizens, activists, and organizations can advocate for more ambitious commitments within the existing agreements. International agreements often facilitate the sharing of scientific research data and expertise. These agreements may include provisions for capacity building in developing nations, aiding them in implementing sustainable practices and technologies. Actually, these international agreements require regular reporting on progress and adherence to commitments. They foster a sense of global solidarity in addressing shared challenges. They recognize that the consequences of environmental degradation impact all nations regardless of their level of development. Agreements can also establish protocols for responding to environmental emergencies, such as oil spills, nuclear accidents, and natural disasters. By demonstrating strong support for international environmental agreements, individuals and groups influence the policy agenda of government and encourage diplomatic efforts to prioritize sustainability and cooperation. When we talk about the green skills for youth world on this earth during this International Youth Day, I would like to remind that green innovation and research involve investing in the development of environmentally friendly technologies, practices, and solutions that contribute to sustainable development and address pressing environmental challenges. This approach fosters creativity, drives economic growth, and promotes a more ecologically balanced future. Investing in research and development of renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydroelectric, geothermal, and tidal power is essential for transitioning away from fossil fuels. Innovations in energy storage, such as advanced batteries and grid scale storage systems, are crucial for overcoming the intermittent nature of renewable energy resources. Green innovation in transportation includes the development of electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cells, and improved public transportation systems. Researching and implementing circular economy practices involves designing products for longevity, repairability, and recyclability. Innovations in precision agriculture, vertical farming, and sustainable agriculture practices helps increase food production efficiency. Research and development in waste management technologies can lead to more efficient recycling processes, waste to energy solutions, and the development of biodegradable materials that reduce the burden on landfills and promote a circular economy. Developing infrastructure that can withstand the impacts of climate change. Advancements in carbon capture and removal technologies help mitigate the effects of climate change by capturing carbon dioxide emissions from industrial processes and the atmosphere. Research and development in green building materials such as sustainable insulation, energy efficient windows, and eco friendly construction methods reduces the environmental footprint of the construction industry. Technological advancements can also aid in monitoring and protecting biodiversity, including satellite imagery, DNA sequencing or species identification, and data analytics for ecosystem health assessment. Encourage collaborations between academia, industry, environment energies, and NGOs to pool resources, expertise, and funding for innovative solutions. And always advocate for policies that incentivize and support green innovation, including research grants, tax incentives, and regulatory frameworks that encourage the adoption of sustainable technologies. These all measures and policies were taken by an individual and as a whole. But corporate and government partnership is not left alone. They also have a responsible act to participate in such revolutions. Corporate and government partnerships, they also play a very crucial role. These collaborations facilitate development and implementation of effective solutions. Partnership between businesses, governments, and NGOs allow for the pooling of resources, whether financial, technological, or human. Businesses bring industry-specific expertise and innovation, while government contribute regulatory insights and public policy expertise. Corporations have the ability to scale up sustainable practices across their operations and supply chains. Government can enact policies and regulations that drive large-scale change. Government agencies often fund and support research initiatives. Corporations can leverage their research and development capabilities to create innovative technologies and solutions. Partnerships can advocate for policy change that promotes sustainability and address environmental challenges. Corporations and governments have extensive reach when it comes to raising public awareness. They launch public campaigns that educate and inspire individuals to adopt environmentally conscious behavior. Such partnerships also enable the successful implementation of large scale projects. For example, collaboration might involve a corporation providing funding, an NGO managing community engagement, and a government agency overseeing the regulatory compliance. Collaborations can strengthen the capacity of NGOs and local communities to engage in sustainable initiatives by providing training, resources, and technical support. Partnerships promote transparency and accountability as all parties work together to achieve common goals. In cases where there might be conflicts between economic interest and environmental concerns, partnerships provide a platform for dialogue and negotiation as well to find the balanced solutions. Businesses, governments, and NGOs each have extensive networks. International collaborations can address transboundary environmental challenges that require cooperation beyond national borders. Collaborations bring together diverse perspectives, fostering holistic solutions, and consider economic, social, and environmental dimensions. One more aspect of this is sustainable finance, which is referred to as responsible or green finance, and is a financial approach that considers environmental, social, and governance, very commonly known as ESG factors, in investment decisions. By investing in green bonds and sustainable funds or environmentally responsible companies, individuals and institutions can promote positive change while also aiming for financial returns. See, we are even connecting our green skills, youth, world, corporate sector, government, everything. These green bonds are financial instruments issued by governments, municipalities, corporations, or other entities to raise funds specifically for environmentally friendly projects. These funds, also known as ESG funds, incorporate environmental, social, and governance criteria into their investment strategies. Impact investors specifically seek investments that generate positive social or environmental impact alongside financial returns. Investors can consider ESG factors when selecting stocks, bonds, or other assets for their portfolios. ESG integration involves evaluating companies based on their environmental practices, treatment of employees, corporate governance, and much more. Companies with strong ESG practices are often better equipped to manage risks associated with environmental and social issues. By investing in companies that focus on sustainable practices and technologies, investors support innovation in fields such as renewable energy, circular economy, solutions, and clean technology. There's much more to say to promote green skills all around the world. But specifically, I emphasize my listeners today that we must bring a change in our lifestyle movements and we must focus on sustainable living play a significant role in raising awareness, influencing consumer behaviors, and driving positive change towards more eco-friendly choices. Participating in or supporting such movements empowers individuals to make a tangible impact on environmental and social issues. The zero waste movement, sustainable fashion movements, minimalism advocates for simplifying one's lifestyle by owning fewer possessions, prioritizing quality over quantity, and focusing on experiences rather than material goods. Decluttering not only reduces personal environmental impact but also promotes mindful consumptions and reduces the demand for new resources. Lifestyle movements promote plant based diets and locally sourced foods. Plastic free movements encourage individuals to reduce their plastic consumption. Participating in community gardens and urban agriculture initiatives promotes local food production, reduces food miles, and fosters a strong connection to nature. Advocating for alternative modes of transportation, such as biking or walking to work, reduces the carbon footprint associated with daily commutes and promotes healthier lifestyles. Lifestyle movements encourage the adoption of reusable and eco friendly products, such as cloth napkins, stainless steel straws, and bamboo toothbrushes. Participating in local cleanup events and initiatives helps address litter and pollution issues. Educational campaigns to raise awareness about the environmental and social impacts of various choices is also an informed decision and encourage collective action. Lifestyle movements focus on changing behaviors and habits at an individual level, contributing to a broader cultural shift towards more sustainable and responsible living. My dear friends, by contributing towards creating a sustainable and thriving planet, we can, of course, leave a positive legacy for present and future generations. For your knowledge, let me share some examples of the impact of Swami Vivekanand's philosophy on young environmental activists. Here's a small anecdote. In a small town in India, there lived a young girl called Ananya, who had always been deeply connected to nature. She spent her childhood exploring the nearby forest, admiring the beauty of the rivers and marveling at the diverse wildlife around her. As she grew older, Ananya became increasingly concerned about the rapid degradation of the environment in her town due to pollution and deforestation. One day, Ananya came across a book that contains the teachings and philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. As she delved into the writings of this great spiritual leader, she was struck by his emphasis on the interconnectedness of all living beings and his call for selfless service to society and nature. Swami Vivekananda's words deeply resonated with Ananya, and she felt a profound sense of purpose and responsibility to protect the environment. Inspired by his teachings, she decided to take action and bring a positive change in the society. She started organizing awareness campaigns, tree plantation drives in her own town. She engaged with local schools and youth groups, sharing Swami Vivekananda's wisdom about the importance of living in harmony with nature and caring for the environment. As her initiatives gained momentum, she faced challenges from those who were indifferent to the environmental issues or focused solely on short term gains. However, she persevered, drawing strength from Swami Vivekananda's teaching about courage, determination, and the power of inner transformation, and soon caught the attention of like minded individuals from different parts of the world. They were moved by her passion and dedication to the cause of environmental conservation. Through social media and networking platforms, Ananya connected with a global community of young environmental activists who were also inspired by Vivekananda's philosophy. Together, they formed a united front, working collectively to address environmental issues on a large scale. They organized international conferences, held online seminars, and collaborated with NGOs and policymakers to advocate for sustainable development and eco friendly policies. Her journey of embracing Swami Vivekananda's philosophy had a ripple effect on the youth worldwide. His teachings, emphasizing the interconnection and the importance of serving society and nature, became a guiding light for countless young minds seeking purpose and meaning in their lives. The impact of Vivekananda's teaching on Ananya and the global youth environmental movement illustrates how his philosophy continues to inspire and shape the mindset of the young people. It empowers them to be agents of positive change for a sustainable and harmonious world. I believe this is insightful to know that we find evidences that Swami Vivekananda's philosophy has had a profound influence on youth across the world, transcending borders and cultural boundaries. For instance, in United States of America, John, an American college student, stumbled upon Vivekananda's works during a quest for spiritual exploration. Inspired by Swamiji's teachings on self realization and universal oneness, John became deeply interested in meditation and mindfulness practices. He started a meditation club on campus, invited students of all backgrounds to come together and explore inner peace and self discovery. Another instance is Maria, a young environmental activist from Brazil. She discovered Swami Vivekananda's philosophy through an online video. His emphasis on compassion for all living beings resonated with her, and she felt a strong connection between spirituality and environmentalism. Maria started a local environment group that combined spiritual principles with practical eco conscious initiatives. Through this group, she mobilized youth in her community to clean up beaches, plant trees, and advocate for sustainable development. No less, in Nairobi, Kenya, a group of young volunteers was drawn to Swamiji's teaching on selfless service and social upliftment. Inspired by his call for humanitarian work, they founded a non-profit organization that focused on providing education and healthcare services to underprivileged children in rural areas. They were motivated by the idea of serving humanity as a way to connect with the divine and uplift society. Yuki, a Japanese student, came across Swami Vivekananda's writings during her search for inner peace and purpose. The Swami's emphasis on finding strength from within and realizing one's potential resonated with her deeply. Yuki started a group for youth dealing with stress and mental health challenges. She integrated meditation and mindful techniques, formed Vivekananda's teachings, and tried to help her peers cope with daily pressure and find inner balance. Another group of Nigerian students organized a cultural exchange program after being inspired by Swami Vivekanand's teachings on tolerance and acceptance of diverse cultures. They invited students from various countries to share their cultural heritage and foster understanding among young people from different backgrounds. The program encouraged cross cultural learning and appreciation, promoting harmony and unity. Of course, Swami Vivekananda's universal teachings have transcended geographical boundaries, touching the hearts of young people worldwide. His message of selflessness, interconnectedness, and service has inspired young minds from diverse cultures to take positive action and contribute to the well being of society. With this, I end my thoughts for the day. My heartiest congratulations to all the youths worldwide on this International Youth Day. Please make a vow to bring green skills into practice. Jai Hind.